Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Riddle, or welcome back if you're a subscriber. Before I start this video, it's probably not going to be what you think it is, but I'm going to give you some things that I want you to do your own research on and to approach with some truly critical thinking, okay? This video is about my perspective on how a 6-year-old handles frustration with a handgun. You probably saw all over the news in Virginia, a 6-year-old boy took a gun to school, and when he wasn't happy with his teacher, shot her. Yeah, a 6-year-old takes a handgun to school, and when he doesn't like how he's being treated or the situation, shoots his teacher. Now, the teacher was amazing. I mean, she really had the essence and the soul, and even from her hospital bed, she's more concerned about her children, the children in her class, than she is about herself, which just shows how noble she was. And automatically, people are going to want to blame guns. And they're going to push this into the category of a gun control issue. But I am not. A gun did not shoot this woman. A child shot this woman. But I will challenge gun advocates in their response to and their solution to gun violence in America. In their minds, the remedy to this situation would have been better security and or teachers being armed with a handgun. So we have a situation with a 6-year-old child. And it was really interesting because they referred to this 6-year-old child as a young man on the news. And I'm sorry, he's not a young man. He is a 6-year-old child with all of the immaturity and incompetency that comes with childhood. That he had access to a handgun is on his parents, as I'm sure a lot of the legalities will be turned towards in a very short time. So let's say the teacher was armed with a gun rights people. And so what she's supposed to do, she's supposed to pull out her gun in a classroom and defend herself against a child and shoot a 6-year-old child. Is that the answer to this solution? That we literally, in a place that is supposed to be a place of education and safety, where we are learning and we're supposed to be developing as children, it's going to be the wild, wild west. Is that a tangible solution? Is that a normal solution? Is that a productive solution is the question here. And I'm going to let you, ruminate, let you think about that for a while. But now I'm going to share with you what I believe is the uncomfortable truth about extreme violence, especially in America. And I had hoped, I guess, even though I tend to be misanthropic, I had hoped ideally that after COVID had somewhat lifted, that we would all realize how much we missed each other and we would come back out into society kinder people. But what they're actually seeing is the opposite, that people are crueler and lack more empathy than ever. And not only are they cruel and lack empathy in mass, but they also, right away, when they're in a situation, be it they get the wrong thing at the fast food restaurant, or they have some minor situation with a service person at a store, automatically to violence. It's as though we are reverting back into the worst case scenario of the human animal. I mean, basically, we're just primates with larger or more specialized brains. And it's like all these hundreds of years that we've been working towards a safe and peaceful country and community and world. And suddenly, why is the first response to a conflict with a stranger violence? Where is the wit? Where is the communication? Where is the critical thinking? Why does a 6-year-old get the idea to take a gun and shoot his teacher as a solution? And why, as a society, why can't we have a normal disagreement on the streets without the fear of extreme violence being the result of that? And I'm going to take you into one of the main reasons I believe that society is becoming so comfortable with violence, and they don't have a screen anymore. They don't feel like they can't control themselves. It's normalized almost. Violence is becoming more and more normalized. And with, these gun violence, with the gun violence happening sometimes twice a week now, where it used to happen maybe once or twice a year, and before that, even less, we're also becoming desensitized, because that's what happens when you're exposed to something over and over and over again. It becomes normalized, and we become desensitized to it, and we no longer have that normal human response of fear and horror or questioning. And then we have this other fascinating response, which is kind of like I call it the social media response, and a lot of people are making jokes about this now. And I understand that people of faith have very good intentions and believe that there's actually power behind this. But the thoughts and prayers movement, thoughts and prayers. Well, guess what? All the thoughts and prayers in the world don't add up to anything if there are no actions behind them. Because a thought and a prayer are not tangible things. They are just a thought. It's just something that's created by our brains that floats around until the human brings that through their conscious and makes something of it. So thoughts and prayers are thoughts and prayers. If that's the best we can do, there'll never be any change with just thoughts and prayers. Now, if you're giving thoughts and prayers and trying to come up with some solutions, that's very different. So I'm going to go to my next point. And this is where it's going to get really uncomfortable. But I want you to go ahead and research this yourself. And I want you to finally look at it, because it's right in front of you. And everyone I talk to misses this because it's so diabolical, for lack of better words. And I'm not a conspiracist, but to me, it's extremely diabolical. So last summer, some friends of ours did a private screening at a movie theater to kind of protect people from COVID. And it was the new Buzz Lightyear movie. So I'm like, oh, cute. Buzz Lightyear. Wonderful. Let's go and watch a kid's film. Why not? Got enough beer in me. I'll enjoy about anything. So we went, and I'm watching the movie, and everyone's laughing and everyone's going along with it. But what I realized, that even though this was a cartoon, and even though that movie was designed for children, First, you start out with, before the movie even starts, I want you to watch the trailers. I want you to watch every movie, every cartoon, every science fiction, every comedy. I want you to watch it, and I want you to put a little X or put, take a count on your phone, every trailer that has violence in it. Gun violence, physical violence, psychological violence. I just want you to mark that, because what I notice every time is about 90% or more, 9 out of the 10 previews of the movies that they will show is full of violence. Okay, so back to Buzz Lightyear. So we're watching, I can't remember the name of it exactly, but it was the new Buzz Lightyear, the new Toy Story. And we're watching the movie, and right away, I'm like, man, this thing is full of violence. And even though they're cartoon characters, it was still full of guns. It was full of physical violence. And then the elderly character in the plot of the movie, the old woman, they made her character, they were trying to make her admirable or cool because she was a criminal, because she was like an ex-con, and she was incredibly violent. So basically, they're idealizing, like, in order to be cool, especially if you're old, you have to be a criminal and you have to be violent. Okay? Now, you have to understand, because this movie is designed for children, not for adults to say, oh, well, that's just imaginary and that's that. And this movie was designed for children, and this is the message they were giving. And there were more messages than just that. And all the people around me are just yuck, 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 ha, 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 totally missing the point that children are being programmed to be violent and being programmed to think that criminal behavior is cool. And it doesn't matter if it's the bad guy getting killed or the good guy getting shot at. The fact is that, what do we know about the bad guy? Like, what do we know about the guy or the gal that was the security at the special place where they had to go do their mission at? And all those peripheral characters are killed. But we assume that just because they're not on the side that we're being told is the good side, that it's okay that they're killed. It's still violence, and we're still absorbing murder, and we're still absorbing violence. And the fact that Disney is allowing this and programming our children, to be desensitized and to take violence in as a form of entertainment, I believe is irresponsible socially and criminal. So now I want you to start looking at what entertains you. You can look at the video games. Again, murder, murder, kill, 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 kill. It's entertainment. It's not real. But you put that comfort of killing, destroying, through the lens of somebody with a low intelligence or somebody who's dealing with mental health issues or whatever. People are being desensitized and becoming very comfortable with violence. Even if it's pretend, it's violence. And then you take that, you watch the movies, the comedies, the movies that do the best are the most violent. But again, they try to push through the guise of murder and violence because they've defined a good person and a bad person. But often, if you watch the peripheral bad people, we don't know anything about these people. But yet, as they're getting mowed down and killed in all these hideous, violent ways, we are entertained by that because it was justified that they were killed because they weren't on the side of the main character in the movie. We just went and saw the new, the blue people. Avatar, the new Avatar. And again, everybody was entertained. I was horrified. Here it is, the key point of the movie was family and family values, but the amount and the intensity of the violence in that movie from beginning to end was off the chart. And I'm just telling you, why are people so violent? Why can't you have a disagreement out there on the streets without being in fear of someone taking it to a physical level or pulling out a weapon? It's because for decades now, violence has been normalized through entertainment, and people no longer understand the difference between reality and entertainment. They no longer know how to conduct themselves in a civilized way. We're literally products of Hollywood. We're products of of our lower selves, of our primitive selves that Hollywood has capitalized on by creating entertainment that is completely saturated with violence and stupidity. And so please, I want you to see what you're choosing for entertainment. I want you to think about these innocent Disney films and these films that are supposed to be designed for families and for children. And I want you to take a little, make a little chart, take a little piece of paper, have a pencil with you. Every time there's an act of violence, someone is shot, I just want you to put a little line there, and you are going to see what I see. And I think until we stand up as a society and start protecting our children from this toxicity, and we start analyzing why we as supposed advanced animals are so entertained and so accepting and craving of violence as a form of entertainment, the world, especially the United States of America, is going to continue to become a more and more violent, unstable, and unsafe society. Okay, there you go. Please leave your intelligent comments in the comment box below. If you like my channel, please subscribe, share. I think this is a very important topic for people to talk about. And take the time to, don't believe me. I'm nobody. I'm some dude on YouTube. Go and look at what I'm talking about. Check the facts. And then see if you have the ability, if you have the intelligence to apply critical thinking to these things I just presented to you. Because when we have 6-year-old children shooting teachers for no good reason, I don't know how much worse it can get, people. And there is no solution to that. There is no solution to that. No solution, except for a deep dive into what's truly the root of this new social phenomenon that seems to be intensifying daily. Okay, take care of yourselves and take care of each other, because I believe how we treat each other on the streets is our ultimate reality. Bye for now.